Hey guys, Saturday night. Went to the track last night. I didn't film anything except for this silver Magnum.
Labor weekend. C'est parti pour le prize. On est venu un peu, on va vérifier la piste. We're going to check the track. On prend quelques instants.
And as you can see, it almost went into the wall. I talked to the guy later. He broke an axle and sent it towards the wall. The car has been in the 9s and it weighs over 4,000 pounds. So that guy's making some power. Super cool guy, super cool car. I'm a fan of fast station wagons. Love it. That's pretty much the only reason I filmed it. I walked up there to check out the starting line and ended up filming this guy's car. Anyway, the wife and kids were going to come with me and film. My wife and my daughter both ended up getting sick. Because of that, I ended up not filming anything. I was going to film from the inside of the car, but because I go to Canada, I ended up losing an hour. I didn't plan well enough for the border crossing and ended up, instead of having 3 hours of the track, I only had 2 hours. So I was more worried about making passes than filming. So I've got some time slips here. We're going to go over the time slips and what happened in each pass and wrap it up. The plan is to go next Saturday though. So, and the kids, the wife and kids are going to come with me then, and we're going to try to get some filming of the passes in there. So let's go over the time slips. When we go over the time slips like this, we've got a little plan for this. It's going to be called the cut and drag log. How good we cut lights and how bad we drag the cars next to us. I'll give you a little spoiler. The cutting of the lights was awful, and we only raced 2 cars and we drug both their asses. One was kind of a joke. The other one was actually a pretty decent race. So let's get into it. So first pass, which was our best pass of the night. There was a Harley event, so probably the best prep for the evening was at the beginning. They had done a test and tune specifically for the drag bikes and everything earlier in the day, so the prep was probably the best at the beginning. And there was a bunch of street cars, so the prep got worse as long as the day went. No excuses. Most of the problem was my dumbass tuning, both for power and suspension. So let's get into it. First pass, the 60 foot, well, my reaction time was 0.538. Not cutting the light there. So 60 foot was 178.1. Not great, not bad. 8th mile was 751 at 95.86. And we let out at the 8th mile. It was my first pass in the car. Wanted to see how it handled and stopped. The first time really driving out of anger, out of anything. So we let out at the 8th and rolled to a 1247 at 85.51. Was pretty happy to see that. So in my head, if it ran a 13, I was going to be annoyed and pissed off. If it ran 12s, I was going to be like, all right, that's okay. If it ran in the 11s, I was going to be happy. If it ran in the 10s, I was going to be over the moon. So to see it in the mid 12s, letting out at the 8th mile, I was pretty freaking happy at that point. So then we go into our second pass. Light, slightly better, but still shitty. 0.537. I was sleeping. I was making sandwiches or something at the light. So then our 60 foot on this one, we spun real bad. I tried leaving a little bit higher RPM, and it just didn't work out for me. So we ran a 2.116, and the 8th mile was a 794 at 95.19, and that was pretty good. So then, because of the spinning and everything, we ran a 12051 at 119.86. So bottom 12, like damn near 11s on that. So even though all that shit was bad, I was pretty happy about it, because as bad as that 60 foot was, I knew this was an 11-second car at this point. So pretty happy about that. So then we get into, oh, and on that second one, we raced some sort of front wheel drive Honda, appeared to be mostly stock. We drug it down the track. Like, I don't know what their 60 foot and all that stuff was, but I will never knock a slow car or like a car like that at the track, whether it's a 20-second car or a 6-second car. That's putting money in the track owner's pocket. And if there's money going in the track owner's pocket, that means the track's going to stay open. So big props to those guys, even going out there, even if they're running times. That might have been their first time, of the track, and that might have been fast as hell for them. So that was awesome. So big props to those guys. So third and final pass, we got, there was an accident, and it was a motorcycle. The guy was okay, but it took a while to clean it all up and everything. So big props to the Naperville. They let us clear the lanes out after closing time because of the accident. So I was the second pair up, and I was nervous. I wanted to make another good pass because I knew I wasn't getting any more passes in that night. So I lowered my RPM, but not as good as it was when I ran the 1.7 because I knew the track was going away. So I ended up running a 191 60 foot, which is not great. Our reaction time was the worst one of the night, which was a 0.635. I fell asleep. I wasn't even making sandwiches. I was taking a nap at the light, apparently, at that time. 8th mile was 7.655 at 95.36, so a little bit slower than our first one. But because we stayed in it all the way through the quarter, we went 11.78 at 119.78, which is my best ET ever. Previous to this, I had 14 years ago, I had me and a buddy put a 90 Plymouth Laser together with a 4G63 front wheel drive, and we went 11.89 at 113. So I best my ET by a 1/10 and best my mile an hour by almost 6 or a little over 6 miles an hour. So super happy about that. This one we actually raced a SRT8 Cherokee, and that had a shot of nitrous on it. I talked to the driver's brother, and supposedly that car has been a best of 11.68. I don't know what the deal was with it and where it happened. I didn't talk to the guy after, but he ran like a 12 something. But he gapped the shit out of me on the hole. He ran like a 0.3 on the light, and then like a 1.6 or 1.7 60 foot. So he gapped the shit out of me on the start. But about the 8th mile, I blew past him, and he ran like a 12 something, and I ran the 11.78. So I gapped him on the end. So I drug his ass on the thing. So he cut the light, but I drug his ass past the finish line. So it was a good night overall. I wish I would have gotten some more passes, but like I mentioned earlier, I didn't plan for the border crossing to be as long as it was, and so I only ended up getting 2 hours or 3 hours, and it was a Friday night, so we only had 3 hours, and it is what it is. I got 3 passes, and I'm super stoked about it, and we'll talk about what the plans are in the next segment. All right, that's going to be the recap of the cut and drag log, and hopefully next time we'll have some video from the outside. We're planning on going back next Sunday. The wife and kids are going to come with me. Hopefully we'll get some videos from the outside. I'll try to be better about filming from the inside, and we'll be able to go over the passes that way a little bit better. This weekend I learned a ton about myself and the car. First thing is I need to leave a little bit earlier so I can get through the border and not be rushed to try to make passes, because that was the biggest thing. I was hoping to get 4 or 5 passes in the 3 hours. I ended up only having about 2 hours to make passes, and I definitely felt rushed. I couldn't go over the data as well as I wanted from the data logs. Without the family there filming, I couldn't go over what the suspension was doing, but I did figure out some stuff. I think So I have single adjustable stranges in the front is what I figured out I have. The passenger side seems to be working really well. The driver's side, I think no matter what I do to it, it seems to stay as stiff as possible. So I got to figure out what's going on there. And then I just got to figure out how to adjust the suspension a little bit. I made some adjustments from what I had read on there, and that 178 wasn't awful, but it could have been better. I really think that 191 on my last pass was about as good as, with my knowledge, as I could have made. It was right on the ragged edge. I could hear the tires howling as I came. It was accelerating hard, but I could hear the tires just like right on the edge of grip as I was coming out. The other thing, and this is not something I can afford to do this year, and it's not a knock on the track, but it's definitely, I think it's more of a slick prep track than a radial track. I saw almost every other car I saw there that was any type of serious drag racing car was on a slick. And from what I did of testing the track and everything, it wasn't super sticky, which is a typical radial thing. So next year, I think I'm going to try to switch up to slicks, but I'm on radials this year. That's all I can do. So we'll make the best of it this year. So yeah, that suspension thing, I got some more learning to do about the rear suspension. Going over the data logs, I think we can go up a couple more pounds, well, a few more pounds. I think we can go 10, 12 pounds of boost. So that should improve the power quite a bit. I'm hoping. So let me preface this with what I'm going to say here. If I go 1168 next Sunday, I'll be happy. That it'll be an improvement in 10th, and that's all I really care about, is just making an improvement every time I go. But I think with the boost increase and everything, I think I can get bottom 11s, maybe tickle into the high 10s if I can get that 60 foot. If I can get the 60 foot worked out a little bit better, I definitely can go 10s. But I'm not making any promises, and if I do, I'll be over the moon happy. My goal for the car for the year was, if I went 13s, I was going to be disappointed. If I went 12s, I was going to be happy, which I rolled a 12, a mid-12 letting out at the 8th, which was awesome. And if I could go 11s, I was going to be happy. If I could go 10s, I was going to be over the moon ecstatic. So I'm in the 11s. I'm solid 11s. So 11.7 to me is a solid 11. So we're good there. So next week, we're trying to make an improvement. Try to get some more videos for you guys on it. And we'll see you guys next time. Click the like, subscribe, Facebook, Instagrams, all that stuff. I appreciate it. And hopefully the next video won't be so just me blabbing on about what I did instead of you guys actually seeing what I did. All right, see you guys next time.